Welcome to this episode of Tactics, and you join me at the historic Catch 22 venue in Norfolk. Now, it's somewhere I've always wanted to come. It's steeped in history and now it's under new management and can be booked as lake exclusives through the Go Catch app. Now, during this session, we're going to talk and look into everything to do with autumn fishing. Now, as productive as it can be, loads of big hits possible. It can also be kind of tricky, especially with certain weather changes. So, without further ado, we've got set up. Let's go on with the session.
Autumn is a magical season with its colours and its cooler air temperatures, but it's a window you've got to make the most of. When the fish are on the move, you need to be right there with them, and when you get it right, that's when effort equals reward.
We've had a really productive night's fishing, so we actually got here yesterday afternoon, didn't start fishing until about 6 o'clock in the evening, and it was a long old drive, and before the cameras were rolling we had 8 fish last night, dropped a couple, and then this morning we've made a tactical switch over to the zigs, and yeah, the action has continued, and that Ascend zig hook link were coupled with the size 6 Apex beak point hooks, which in my opinion are the best zig and floater hook I've ever actually used. They're absolutely incredible, and yeah, we've got some little Northern Special zig hook baits. We've mixed and matched the colours, but red and yellow. We've got like a murky tinge to it, this water, and though I'm sure black will work, the colours are definitely getting quicker bites. Yeah, we're using the Hunter 750 to get it out there at long range. I'll show you how we're actually putting the zigs in the boat at some point later in the trip, but I'm actually putting bait in as well at the same time. So there's a lot of carp in this venue. I'm led to believe there's 500 or 600 fish, which is a lot of carp. It's around 21 acres in size, and these are pack fish. So what I'm essentially doing is feeding the swim with bait to get some bait down onto the deck, so the spots continually having bait put on them. So I'm building an area and then putting the zig over the top now. I'm not trying to catch them with a sloppy spot mix or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is get a carpet of feed down there, catch as many as I can do during the day on zigs at different depths, and then come the evening through the night and first thing in the morning, drop down onto the bait with wafters, hard hookers, pop-ups, and yeah, the swim is essentially pre-baited for us at that point. So it seems to be working at the minute. Hopefully we'll get this one in. The target this week is to catch one of those really old relic mirrors that still swim around in here from back in the day, and to maybe catch a 30 pounder, which Catch 22 was actually famous for. There's so many in there, and he's led to believe that Trav has said there is now touching on 130s in here still. So that makes, in my maths, which I'm not very good at, every 1 in 6 fish should be a 30. Well, I've had double that nearly now, and we've not had one yet, so I feel a bit hard done to. Hopefully this is it.
If you're catching off a spot, it's mega important to get it straight back out, if you have time.
Well, have a look at that one. £26, of long catch-22 common carp. We've got off to an absolutely unbelievable start here. Catching them off the deck last night and this morning, and now we've adapted to the weather conditions, and we're on the zigs. High pressure, clear skies, and yeah, they're really reacting to that bait. I think we've got the spots right, the area of the lake right, and we've got his bigger brother to show you, so I'm going to slip this one back and get that mirror out, because I think we've got our first catch-22 30-pounder. Yeah, it's over. 31 pound. I'll do. Well, have a look at that. Who says zigs catch the small ones? We've had them on the deck all night, nothing bigger than 26 pound. We pop them up on the zigs. We have a 26 common and a 31 mirror. That's the tally, that's the target for me this trip. A mirror and a 30 pounder done in one. Can relax now, pressure off, and just see whether they can build into the session and catch as many as we can. Wicked.
Okay, here's where we are so far. We've positioned centrally on the lake. Depths vary all around, but I found a 2-bar stretch running up the left hand side where we've seen and had fish from last night. With that said, the fish have definitely spread across the lake now, so I've adjusted all 3 rods to cover as much water as possible. Like I always say, these tactics can change like the wind, so be sure to be on your toes at all times.
Cool, buddy.
So it's time to tell you a little bit about swim choice and why I've positioned myself here. So like I've already mentioned, this particular venue is now through Go Catch, and it's a lake exclusive bookings, which means that you can have the whole lake to yourself or book it out with your friends, whatever you want to do. In this situation, there is only me. Now, in my experience, that can be brilliant because you've not got other anglers to contend with. However, it can most definitely work against you if you're not careful as well with line pressure. Once the fish know you're there, they can quite easily scatter off into the corners. So the reason I chose to fish swim 5 was it's kind of central zone. The 2 bays opposite me, which are a long way away, are relatively shallow. Now, it's the autumn. I wanted access to that deeper area of the lake. So no, at some point with the weather conditions we had, those fish were going to migrate and end up in that deeper section. But we had one day where it got to 20 degrees, the wind swung and was going to come up this end. So I wanted options. So the reason that I've gone in here is because of that. Now, I split my rods, so I bought a 2-in-1 setup to be able to maneuver my rods around. So wherever those fish migrated, I would always be able to get on them in some shape or form. So what I've done is out here, to my right hand side is a deeper area of the lake. We've got depths down to 15 feet. Most of it's flat. There's the odd island, hump and bump or whatever, but the majority is 10 to 15 feet flat bottom. That's where your bait comes in. So your bait becomes a feature then. So I chose bang centre of the lake, in the middle, 15 feet, where I could switch between fishing on the deck and fishing on zigs, working that water column, depending on where the fish were sat in the water layers. That particular rod's out there at long range, 30 wraps, 120 yards in the middle of the lake, and that's what's done the big one. The other 2 rods are out here towards the shallows. Now, this area of the lake is actually relatively shallow. I think it's quite popular and productive up the other end in Peg 1. That's the swim that most people go for, I'm told. It's very popular. There's loads of lilies. There's 2 bars that run straight down the centre. The depths come up to 3-4 foot and then drop off into 6-7 foot gullies. So what I've done with those rods is I've positioned my rods in between the gullies. So you imagine you've got 2 or 3 bars out there with shallow ground, with lilies all on top, and then in between you've got some nice silty areas to position your rods where the fish are sort of channeling and moving through and patrolling them. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you are going to be coming on your own, try and position yourself somewhere central where you can have lots of options, give yourself lots of scope. If you're not going to do that and the fish are in a corner, travel light, 2 rods, and be prepared to get on your toes and move, because the more you can move, stay on the fish, the more bites you will get. So this is the rig that I've been using for fishing on the deck this session at Catch 22. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because you'll have seen me use this a lot of times before on tactics. It is a multi-rig, and the sole reason I'm using it is so that I can change my hook very quickly in between fish. As you will have seen here, we're catching multiple fish, getting loads of bites in action, and it's important to get them rods straight back out into the spot. So to talk you through the business end first, the hook bait of choice there is a 15mm Pacific tuna hard hook bait, which is matching the bait that I'm actually putting in, with a 12mm pink Pacific tuna pop-up on top. Now I have switched between a yellow northern and a pink. To be honest with you, hook baits haven't mattered. I'm still catching bream regardless of how big or small I go with the hook baits, and I'm still catching plenty of carp regardless of what colour I'm using as well. So I've got a size 4 Apex medium curve hook there, which is one of my favourite hook patterns, which are ridiculously sharp, and we've made that barbless. And then just to trap that multi nicely in place and secure it, I've got a little bit of shrink tube there, and then over the knot of the multi-rig I've just put a little mouse drop in of rock bottom tungsten putty. I've then got around 8 inches of 35-pound Camo X soft braid, again with another little mouse dropping in the middle just to keep everything nicely pinned down. Down to a long rock bottom tungsten anti-tangle sleeve. Again, it's got tungsten in it, means everything's going to be nicely pinned down, but it's also going to kick away when I'm dropping it from the Hunter 750. That's down to one of our uni leg clips. And on there what I've done is I've set the lead so that it can't drop. There's no need to drop it here, even with the lily pads. The lily pads aren't that strong, they're quite brittle, they're coming straight through them, so there's absolutely no need to drop the lead whatsoever. And then my main line of choice for this session, I've got the 22-pound fluorocast on there. Again, like I've mentioned, there's lots of lilies, islands and stuff. I just wanted that extra bit of security, and because we're using the Hunter 750, it doesn't matter how thick the diameter is, because there's no casting involved. So that's the rig that's doing the bites and catching them off the deck.
It's late afternoon and it seems the approach is working. Endure, be persistent, and the carp will come.
Fucking covered. So, biggest one of the session so far, 35-pound common. Again, taking on that 5-foot zig with that NS1 hook bait, the Ascend hook link material, size 6 Apex beak point, which we've made barbless, and yeah, an incredible carp. That's a 30-pound mirror and a 30-pound common today. The spot's rocking. We've actually only got one rod in the water because the action's been that hectic. Yeah, just unbelievable. Couldn't have asked for a better start to this session. Get in there.
What an incredible start to the session. As the sun dips, the autumn winds cool the lake, but it doesn't slow down the action. The rods keep rocking all evening.
definitely worse ways to start a morning. What a cracking common. Last night we had 4 fish going into dark, and then decided to retire the rods, get some shut eye. I'm sure the cameraman would have been too happy being up all night. So we had them to 29 pound, and yeah, we just slipped them back. And then this morning we've got repositioned them and had another 4 straight away. So I think that takes us to well over 35 bites now, which is just incredible. They're passing the tuna all over the mat, really getting on that bait. We've gone through a lot. If you're going to come here, make sure you bring plenty of bait with you. And yeah, the fish have noticeably now moved over to the left hand side of the swim. More and more fish showing over there. We've moved the rod over there now and we can't keep it in. So looks like they moved from the deep water into the shallows and the lilies. But yeah, this swim gives you plenty of options, commands a lot of water to be able to chase them around. So yeah, let's see what today brings.
Really is non-stop action here on Catch 22 with some absolute crackers gracing our nets.
So let's get into the bait side of things. Like I've mentioned, if you're going to come here and come on the main lake, you're going to get through a lot of bait. Now what I bought with me was 20 kilo of CC Moore Pacific tuna boilers in 15 mil. We have got to that sort of time of year now in the autumn where obviously smaller bait ideally is what you'd want to be using. However, you can't go too small because the lake is still full of bream. They are going to take them out at some point, I believe, but at the minute it's full of them. You're going to catch them regardless. Now I could have come with 18 mil baits and probably slowed the carp down as well, but I decided to work my way through them as quick as possible and just try and catch whatever come along, and it seems to have worked. So what I'm doing with these is I'm putting a few of these in whole, and I'm actually using our chopper to put some in half baits as well, just to give that little bit of variation. After that, I've got some 6 mil Pacific tuna pellets just to complement the boilers I'm using, and in with that is some of the house pellet that Trav sells on site. This is the Aloe Aqua, and this is the 11 mil house pellet. Again, they get fed it, it's silly not to have some of it in. Now just to finish that off, glug it up a little bit more attraction out there onto the spot, I'm using the Marine Amino 365 bait liquid along with some hemp oil. Now I've come off the fish oils now. You probably still could get away with them at this time of the year, to be honest with you. We've not had any cold snaps or anything at the minute, but for me, hemp oil is a good all year round one, especially during this time of the year as well. So what all the oil is going to do is leak attraction up through those water columns, and that'll take some of that marine amino and the food liquid up there as well. And yeah, it seems to be doing the do. The spots are slicking, the fish are passing out the bait as you've seen, and we've got another bite on. Cheers. Wow. Just to carry things on, we were interrupted rudely by this carp. So we're obviously fishing the main lake, which is about 21 acres in size, steeped in history. I remember watching John Wilson back in the day, bless him, fish this lake. And obviously I've had friends as well who fished it from this area. It was well renowned for the amount of 30 pounders that it used to have in it, and clearly it still has. There's a smaller lake on site as well, which I believe was the Syndicate Lake at one point. That's much smaller, 4 acres in size, 60 carp. And led to believe they are all absolute bangers in there as well. So you've got 2 different lakes to go at. You book on via Go Catch for the lake exclusive. So book on with as many mates as you want, whether you want to be on your own, you know, or a party of 5 of you and split it and spread everybody out. We decided to target the main lake on this session, just down purely to the fact that the little lake hadn't done a bite for nearly a month for whatever reason. So rather than make our life difficult, we decided to do our best for Trav and the fishery and put it in the best light possible. We've come on the main lake and it seems to be the right decision at the moment. So yeah, stock wise in here you've got around 500 carp. He reckons it's touching on for 130 pounders, so that had led to believe that 1 in 6 fishes are 30. So plenty of big ones to go at, plenty of bites, like I mentioned, plenty of bream, but just wade through them and you'll definitely get through to the carp. A lot of old fish in here as well. This lake is definitely predominantly made up of commons. There's not many mirrors in here from what I've gathered. I have caught a couple this session, that lovely 31 pounder, but the mirrors are sort of the older stock. Really nice, they're the ones you really want to catch, steeped in history. And yeah, fingers crossed, we'll get a chance and we'll have another one this session. So I'm going to concentrate now because this fish is getting close. And hopefully we'll have another lovely Catch 22 carp to show you very shortly. This fish keeps actually getting stuck in all the lilies, and I'm using a new 22-pound fluorocast mainline, which is 0.42, so quite thick in diameter, although you can actually still bang it. I've had it over 26 wraps with relative ease, but if you're looking for a mainline for up to sort of 70, 80 yard fishing, something that's going to sink off your rod tips like a brick, but allow you still to punch out if necessary and needed, have a look at this 22-pound version, because I think it's going to be a real winner, and it certainly has been in the testing phase. That came off the back of how popular our 18-pound fluorocast was, but we were getting lots of feedback saying, you know, are you going to bring one out that's sort of thicker in diameter for short range work, because the 18 was 0.37, so we've done that now by popular demand, and we've bought that 0.42 version out, and to be honest with you, it's as tough as old boots, sinks like a brick, casts really well still. I think it's going to be a real winner. Jesus. What's them things that they have when they go tuna fishing and shark fishing that they put there? It's massive. It's massive, yeah.
There are some truly stunning carp in this lake. Old and new, they're all very welcome.
Okay, the fishing has slowed down a little bit. The right hand side of the lake now looks dead, when 24 hours ago it was completely opposite. I'd seen nothing this side of the island and everything that side. We've picked a few off today. We dropped down to 2 rods at one point, but there's a lot of fish down this left hand side now. There's 2 bars that run down the lake and it's full of lilies, and the fish have been showing on top of the bars, so I'm just using the Echo on the Hunter 750 Echo edition to pinpoint the top of that bar, but also some nice flat ground in amongst all these lilies as well, just to see whether we can sneak an extra bite or two. I've got 5 foot there. 4 foot, so it's coming up on top of that bar now. So the boat itself, for this sort of situation where you don't want to be casting around, I want to do 1 drop stealthily in amongst where the fish are showing, and with the handset as well, one-handed remote, it's great for this type of thing, just stealthily creeping in there, and 2.5 feet there, so that is now bang on top of the bar. So if I come back a little bit off of that, yeah, nice drop just in between the lilies in an area where the fish have been showing, and I've given them, I can even see where the bait's been dropped. Look, nice flat ground, then in amongst it, that's where the bait's dropped, and then it comes back up again to the pad. So yeah, looks like a nice little spot. I'm not looking for loads of fish off that spot, to be fair. If we can nick that extra bonus fish off it, I'll be happy with that.
The autumn sun has started to warm the water, and the carp are now showing themselves more.
Well, we've had to work hard for this one. All those carp, and this is only the second mirror that we've had. It's definitely dominated by commons, but this is one of the old original mirrors, and yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. One of my favourite ones of the trip. We've ended on a high with this, and we've actually Got number 54 in the net to show you, which is another, well, looks like another £30 common. So let's get this one back, get that one done, and then we need to hit the road. So this is the zig setup that I used to very good effect yesterday. Now we'll start with the business end. We've got a size 6 apex beak point hook that we've made barbless, and like I've already mentioned, if you're in the market for a zig and floater hook that won't let you down, do not neglect these. These are one of the best hooks I've ever used for zig and floater fishing, and the hook to land fish ratio on these have been incredible. The liner itself is one of the pole position black ones. It comes with a little pin that you screw through the centre, and because a lot of venues up and down the country are banning plastic and artificial baits, I'm using one of the CC Moore buoyant zig hook baits. Now these come in 3 colours, a black, a yellow and a red, and because of the clarity of the water, I've not particularly done great on black, but red and yellow were definitely the standouts yesterday. So I've got around 5 feet of our brand new Ascend zig and floater hook link material, down to a long green anti-tangle sleeve and a figure of 8 loop knot there that attaches to a uni leg clip. So that sort of is as easy as it gets. Very simple, straightforward zig setup. But if we talk a little bit about our brand new products, so the Ascend zig and floater hook link material, this is a £10 version that I've been using, comes in a 100-metre spool, so you've got loads of line on there, loads of hook link material for your money, and we're also going to do it in a main line as well. That's a £12 version. You get 300 metres on there, so if you want to fill up your floater reel ready for the new season ahead, check this out. I've tested them personally for the last sort of 18 months. They've not let me down, and they're a great addition to your armoury.
Autumn fishing can be incredibly productive. Feeding them right, working the layers and watching for those key signs. Get these right and you could be in for some big hits. And when you think you're done, think again.
It's a donkey on the quiet. That's the biggest fish I trail. 100%. Oh. Well, autumn can be a magical time of the year. You can expect some big hits if you get it right, and that's exactly what's happened to us on this session. To finish on, we've got something truly special to show you, so let's get it out and have a look. Come on, mate, grab it. Well, check that one out. A fairy tale ending to this episode of Tactics. A new lake record at £39. Travis has reset the counter since he opened it back up in June. I know this lake had a couple of 40s in it in the past, but he's reset the clock And yeah, this is the new lake record, just over £39. It's a fitting way to end this episode of Tactics. We've also caught the record number of fish as well in one session, so we beat the 53 total. Just absolutely incredible. We're on 830s. Get yourself booked on here, guys. If you're looking for your first UK 30, or you want to sort of hone your skills with that big hit fishing, this is definitely the place to do it. And yeah, if you get it right in the autumn, you can definitely have success like this. Thank you for tuning and watching. See you again next time.